This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Zartan and Zarana that came with the Transformers G.I. crossover of the Soundwave Thundermachine. Looking at these figures, I'm pretty sure they are new sculpts made to look like the old ones. Because, first off, I need to take a better look at Zartan's vest. But I know that popped off and was actually a clear thing on the original figure. And I don't know, like, I don't have the original Zarana, but I did have the reissue they did for one of the anniversary toys. And I am fairly certain that this head sculpt is not the same as that one, because I don't remember her looking this janky. This definitely comes off as like 1970s prostitute with this head. I mean, the hair was always kind of weird, but I don't know, that face just looks so off this time. I don't know. I don't think it's the same. And unfortunately, I didn't think to grab the Zarana I had to compare it to. But anyway, if we look at Zartan's back of the box, we see a picture of the Thundermachine, the same one that's used on the cover. And we get the little mini multi-language file card. Role, mercenary. Primary specialty, infiltration. Secondary specialty, disguise. Birthplace, unknown. Zartan is a master of makeup and disguise, a ventriloquist, a linguist, an acrobat contortionist, and a practitioner of several mystic martial arts. And if we look back at his 1980s file card, however, we get Master of Disguise, codename Zartan, file name unknown, aliases, too numerous to list, birthplace unknown. Zartan can alter his skin color at will to blend in with his environment. He is also a master of makeup and disguise, a ventriloquist, a linguist, over 20 languages and dialects, an acrobat contortionist, and a practitioner of several mystic martial arts. Very little is known of his background and origins, but most security agencies agree that he must have had European military academic training, probably St. Cyr. Psychological profile. Extreme paranoid schizophrenic. Grows into various multiple personalities to such an extent that the original personality becomes buried and forgotten. So, yeah, that's Zartan there for you. Actually, I think that's the same military academy that was listed in one of the other Dreadnoks previously. Zarana. Back of hers. Role, Dreadnok mercenary. Known associates, Zartan and Xandar, brothers. Birthplace, unknown. Be nice to note that apparently both Zarana and Xandar in the original series did kind of seem to have a more British-sounding accent. Zarana is a professional assassin who gains access to her victims through skillful acting and masterful use of makeup and disguise. Basically, their family is a bunch of disguise artists. The thing with Zartan, though, the original figure, his skin color changed to kind of a bluish green in the sunlight, and that's a feature that has not been on too many figures since then. Well, okay, back in the original toy, I want to say Zarana and Xandar also had that skin color change gimmick on the original figures, but I don't remember for sure. Because again, I didn't have those two figures. I did have a Zartan at one point. But anyway, let's open these guys up. Not one of my more skillful jobs. Alright, so Zartan's equipment is a fake face.
Editing Nightwolf here. I just wanted to say, every attempt I made to get a picture of that stupid face mask came out blurry like some kind of spirit thing.
It just kind of fit on there like that? Wow, that is ugly. That was kind of a fun gimmick as a kid, though, to be honest. Pull that off. Bro looks angry. He's got a backpack designed specifically to hold the face. Apparently you need to be a child in order to open it. Oh, there we go. So we just fit the face in there like that and close it. Ta-da! He also comes with a pretty unique looking pistol. Peg the backpack in, and he can hold the pistol. Alright, that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick look at his articulation. Head spins, and that's it. There's no up and down to it. It's hard to tell what kind of joint he's got, considering that the head piece there. But it does seem... It does seem like it is just a swivel. Which would make sense because that's how we originally had it. Arm hinges up and down and spins around. Single joint at the elbow. And a bicep cut. They also painted the pins on Zartan, which is great. The fact that they still use pins on these old figures when they remake them is great too. I'll take his backpack off. It looks like his harness is glued into place. Like I said, in the original toy, this came off. And there was a clear area in the middle here. Which, stupidly enough, they gave you a sticker to put in the clear spot. And I don't know why, but generally you did that as a kid, and then you wondered why you did it in the first place. But I think that clear spot was supposed to allow his skin to change color. Feels like the O-ring is a little too big, though, to be honest. But we can swivel at the waist. He can kick forward about that far. Kick back about that far. We can have him do the splits by pushing the O-ring down. Although, I don't know if you can see that. It does look like the leg is splitting open pretty easily at the top there, so that's a little bit concerning. We do have a single joint in the knee, however, and then there's no other articulation in the legs. And of course, the hands don't have any articulation either. And we get a stand with Zartan. I stand with Zartan! So yeah, this is a decent recreation of the original, and like I said, I am thinking that they had to create new molds for these, possibly. So I'm going to do a better job cutting her out than I did Zartan. See, this is what I was trying to do with Zartan. And that would allow me to put her back in the box. And while it is cut open, it's not too easy to tell. I also don't know if the original Zarana had a tattoo or not. Alright. So Zarana comes with her weird looking backpack. Looks like they hollowed it out for these toys. I don't know if that's showing up very well though in the camera. But yeah, they hollowed it out. It was a pretty solid piece previously. Still fits on her backpack, fudge, back. Her pins are all painted again. That's good. She has her weird looking rotary blade gun thingy. I think Classified actually made it into a gun with a blade at the end that could spin. This is not a gun at all. This is literally just, she would swing it around. And it fits in her hand like so. Articulation wise, her head does appear to have that combination ball hinge joint because it does move up and down a little bit. Not a lot. Weirdly enough, look at that cut there. Let me see, point this out. They've actually got a cut in her clavicle area. And I'm not sure why. But that's just weird. Like, were they planning at one point of having her wearing like some kind of shirt over or underneath her her other top? But yeah, that's just kind of weird. Anyway, so it does appear to be... Well, okay, hold on. She's got too much of a swivel, though, for that on this side. I have no idea what's inside of her head, or body. And I'm not going to take her apart to find out. Or am I? So anyway, articulation-wise, arms go up, Hinge, they spin. Swivel at the bicep. And hinge at the elbow. O-ring, again, this seems kind of loose. Oh, she's got a belly button too. Spin around. At the swivel at the waist because of the O-ring. Again, this feels like it's a too big O-ring. We can kick forward and kick back a little bit. Single joint at the knee. No additional articulation. She does have broken stirrups, though. Stirrups. Is that what they're called? All right, that is a weird looking joint. So it is just a swivel. It's just really loose. Ah, crap. Now I can't get her back together. By the way, I'd like to point out that these figures have bigger pegs than the Super 7 ones do. Ah, furch. I'm going to assume that that's the same joint that's in Zartan also. Alright, so we bring out the Thundermachine. Now, supposedly, this functions as storage for weapons also. So, yeah, that works. There you go. God. So with the original Thundermachine, you just kind of slid the figures in through the side. But being that this is a Transformer one, where the top opens up, we'll just do that as the easy way to do it. So I'm thinking the loose rubber band is specifically to make it easier to actually stick them in the Thundermachine. Because that is a lot of contortion going on there. And boom, we have Zartan and Zarana inside the Thundermachine. And if Soundwave transforms, you don't have to worry about that whole squishing them type of thing, right? Of course. Oh. We can't forget, though, Ravage is on a leash, so... There you go. That's Zartan and Zarana with the Thundermachine, or with Soundwave in the Thundermachine mode. But thanks to the magic of editing, I will show you how he looks in robot mode with them. You know, if I was a little more skillful with the transitioning, I would have actually set this up a little bit better for that. So now that Soundwave is in robot mode, we've still got Zartan and Zarana here. But I was wondering before about how to stick them into him. Ooh, that sounded awful too. So... oh, for crying out loud. On the roof of the Thundermachine here, this actually folds out, and it's got a couple pegs there for the feet. Which you then have to... Oh, actually, let's see. Taking that off maybe help. You know, sometimes the stuff you have to do in order to get the stuff to work out the way it's supposed to is kind of ridiculous. So now we got them like that. This may be, in fact, the worst. Let's get that off there. The worst variation on the carrying the other figures, or the G.I. Joe figures in robot mode that I have seen so far. First off, the equipment, the guns definitely get in the way of that. I mean, shit. Again, this is one of the things where I'm pretty sure that is not going to feel particularly good if you launch, if he's using that, you know? Like, I'm sure there's some backlash out the back. So, but Zartan's face is like kissing the turbine there. If you put that there like that. Which is, let's be honest, you're going to mostly have Soundwave with that in place. But then again, maybe that's the reason why they have the leash on Ravage, is so that you don't put somebody on that side. But of course, the gun here can also be pegged in up there, and that kind of messes with Zarana. Oh, shit. So we take that out. It doesn't affect the transformation at all, but, you know, like I said, it's just not a particularly... I don't think this is a particularly well done setup in this case. I'm not sure why they feel the need to design these guys so that the Joe figures can actually ride on the backs when they're in robot mode. I kind of feel like that's a pointless thing to do. So, why do it at all? Although the best one thus far that I've looked at is probably the Sergeant Slaughter, again, the Triple T, and Sergeant Slaughter and Cup and Leatherhead. Or Leatherneck. Leatherhead or Leatherneck? Shit. Leatherneck. And we know, like, with the Megatron one, is that the gunnery turret for his tank just kind of stands out on the back really bad. And that's where you put the Baroness. Surprised they haven't given us a Cobra Commander. But anyway... I think this will conclude our look at the Soundwave with the Thundermachine Joes. As far as robot mode goes, I am not putting the antenna in there. I think it looks stupid, and it's more likely to break if it falls. Robot mode on him is actually pretty good. I mean, the back kivel's not horrible. It's kind of what you would expect with something like this. And in all truth, it doesn't really stand out like it may have in some of the other ones, like the Bumblebee one. Again, I haven't opened those up and reviewed them myself, but I've watched the reviews on them. But the Bumblebee and Megatron were both pretty awful on that. Cup, as the Triple T, was good. The arm kibble here is a little bit annoying. It would have been nice if they could have found a way to better integrate the front of the Thundermachine into his arms. I'm not sure the best way to do that myself, but I'm not a toy engineer. It's just my suggestion is that it would have been nice if something had been able to be done better this way. Like if there's some way for this to integrate more into the actual arm itself. But I know one of the things that they try to do with these things is try to keep the robot mode looking as close to the G1 style aesthetic as they can. Whoa. I also can't really get him to stand up straight very well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Ravage may be one of my favorite parts of this thing. Even though he does look like a scrawny, malnourished dog, he still ends up, he transforms. Anyway, Yeah, and if you enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.
You'll be joining us soon. A band of vipers playing our tune. With an iron fist and a reptile's hiss, we shall rule.
What is that idiot doing?
We've heard it before. We're not gonna play the game no more. Now tell us what's right.
They are animals.
To them to resist, 'cause Cobra is strong.
Oh my goodness, we're going way over budget. Barbarians! No! Cut! Cut! Cut!